was it first.
God
F above B flat. B flat. Charles.
You said E or B?
B flat. F. B flat above D. Right above middle C.
My D.
E. E. Ready?
You're not singing?
Let's pick up.
Can we go up by half stone, please? Oh, yeah.
Where you in?
F sharp.
Focus on me. Then put your lens on me. Focus on me. Just me. No, don't worry about this at the moment. 35 millimeters. So the lens is at 35. Get a focus on me and put the lens on me. Just focus on me and put the lens on me. Well, how you know? You got to take it off of me. Okay, get a focus on me. And then put it on me. Don't shoot, just focus on me. Okay, put it on manual. Now, frame this picture. The dean or whoever's right there. I gotta get off here. Is that light
I got 2 minutes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I have your attention, please? Allow me to welcome you to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore's 21st Winter Commencement. The program will begin in a few moments. At this time, I ask that you please find your seats, place your cell phone in your hand, and place it on silent, as the processional will begin in 2 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise for the academic processional.
At this time, I ask that you turn off your cell phones and any cellular devices in order to respect the dignity and solemnity of this occasion. Please stand for the presentation of colors, the national anthems, and the invocation.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
stripes and bright stars, through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we rushed, were so gallantly streaming.
And the rocket's red glare, bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
O'er the land
The land of the free and the home of the
lift every voice and sing.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of
Lift
lift.
every voice and sing
And
the
rejoicing
song.
rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea.
Every voice and sing.
Sing our song.
Every voice and sing our
song. Sing our song.
Every voice and sing our
sing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on, let us march on till victory is won.
Stony the road we trod, bitter the task we trod, melting the days when born and died, yet with a steady beat, and not a weary soul, until the saints for which our song is sung.
We have come, oh we have come, over a way that with tears has been watered. Oh we have come, treading our paths through the blood of the slaughter, out of the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of a bright star is cast.
Let us pray. Most gracious God, we come to you this morning to say thank you. God, we thank you for this day, for we know it was only by your grace and your mercy that you allowed us to see this day. God, we especially thank you for this day because of these students who are becoming graduates. God, we know if it were not for you, they would not have made it this far. So God, we come to give you the glory, the honor, and the praise for being a way maker, God, for being a provider, for being a preserver, for being their strength. God, we also thank you, God, for all the teachers who taught them and gave them the tools to succeed. We thank you, God, for the staff at UMES who nurtured them while they were on their educational journey. God, we thank you for the parents and the family and the friends that supported them while they were pursuing their degrees. So God, we're here to rejoice, and we're here to thank you for what they've done and from where they came. And now, God, we're invoking your presence here, asking that, God, you get the glory out of everything we do. And God, have your way. Move by your spirit. And God, we thank you. We praise you for what you have done, for what you're doing and what you're going to do. And it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Good morning. Members of the winter graduating class of 2017, faculty and faculty emeriti, honored guests, parents, colleagues, and friends. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome you to the 21st Winter Commencement exercises of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. This is a very special occasion for all of us, particularly our graduates, their family members, and their friends. As president of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, it is indeed my honor to be with you graduates here today as you celebrate the beginning of a new and exciting phase of your life. To our 277 graduates, that's 277 graduates from across the United States and from other nations, this is a day that will be remembered because it is a key milestone in your lives. The ideals and traditions you have experienced at UMES will forever be a part of your life. You occupy a unique place in the life and the history of this university that will remain a part of the institution's history for years to come. Today, UMES has over 3,500 students, 38 baccalaureate degrees, 14 master's degree programs, and 8 doctoral degree programs. UMES is recognized by U.S. News and World Report as one of the top 20 historically black colleges and universities in America. This recognition has come to us because of your achievements in the classroom, in the laboratories, and on the field of competition, as well as in the community. Indeed, we can accomplish no goal without graduates like you, because you are the ones who have dreams, we are inspired. Because you are the ones who have goals, we push. Because you are the ones who achieve, we soar together to greater heights. Congratulations, graduates. You can give them a hand. So today is a day for celebration, a day to celebrate the milestones with your family and friends. Now, I know everyone is excited, and later when I call the names of the graduates, we will ask that you refrain from celebrating too much so that everyone can hear each graduate's name as it's called and as they cross the stage. So, I am going to now give you 2 minutes to celebrate and get it out of your system, so celebrate. Thank you very much. Your 2 minutes are up. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are very proud of you. At this time, I would like to introduce our platform guests, and I will introduce the platform guests. I ask the guests to please stand as I call your name, and the audience, I ask you to please reserve your applause until all names have been called. Dr. Mary Beth Gassman, Professor of Education and Founding Director of the Penn Center for Minority Serving Institutions, our guest speaker. Dr. Douglas Ruby, Professor Emeritus. Mr. John Allen, Chairman of the UMES Board of Visitors. Reverend Jamar Jackson, Pastor of the Metropolitan United Methodist Church. Dr. J. Michael Harp, Interim Vice President for Student Affairs. Ms. Michelle Martin, Interim Vice President for Administration and Finance. Mr. Matthew Taylor, General Counsel. Mrs. Deborah Powell-Heyman, President of the UMES National Alumni Association. Mr. Garland Hayward, Sr., President of the Princess Anne Commissioners. Mr. Owanami Davies, President of the UMES Student Government Association. Mr. Zoe Johnson, President of the Graduate Student Government. Ms. Omolayo Olamiji, Class of 2017 Student Commentator. Dr. Kimberly Whitehead, Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Moses Cairo, Dean of the School of Agriculture and Natural Sciences. Dr. Ernest Boger, Chair of the Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management, representing Dr. Julia Salati, Dean of the School of Business and Technology. Mr. Christopher Harrington, Interim Dean of the School of Education, Social Sciences, and the Arts. Dr. Lakeisha Harris, Interim Dean of the School of Graduate Studies. Dr. Rondell Allen, Dean of the School of Pharmacy and Health Professions. Mrs. Cheryl Holden Duffy, Registrar. Mrs. May Palmer, Associate Registrar. Dr. Dean Coolidge, Chair of the Department of English and Modern Languages and Faculty Assembly Representative. Dr. Veronique Derricker, Director of Development and Chair of the UMES Senate. Dr. Terry Smith, Associate Professor, Department of English and Modern Language, Reader. Dr. Donna Long, Associate Professor and Director of the Child and Family Development Center, and Reader. At this time, please give all of them a hand. I would also like to ask members of our legislature and other elected officials to please stand, if there are any. I would ask that UMES Board of Visitors and President, Cabinet members, faculty, and faculty staff, emeriti, and alumni to please stand. And finally, I'd like to recognize the members of the UMES Golden Hawks class of 1967. These are graduates of Maryland State College from 1967. We have 16 members. Please stand and be recognized. The Golden Hawks, celebrating their 50th anniversary. And I would be remiss if I did not introduce the first gentleman of UMES, Mr. Willie Bell Jr. Please stand. Thank you. At this time, I would ask if you would join me in observing a moment of silence in recognition of two UMES jewels who recently passed away. Dr. William Pender, former Vice President for Academic Affairs, who served in numerous capacities at UMES for 3 decades, and Dr. Raymond Blakely, founding chair and professor in the Department of Physical Therapy, who served UMES with 34 years of dedicated service. Please join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. We will now have greetings from Dr. John Allen Jr., Chairman of the UMES Board of Visitors, Mr. Garland Hayward Sr., President of Princess Anne Town Commissioners, and Mrs. Deborah Powell-Heyman, President of the UMES National Alumni Association. After the greeting, the University of Maryland Eastern Shore Concert Choir, directed by Dr. Devonna Rowe, will perform Come Sunday.
Good morning and welcome. It's an honor for me to welcome you this morning on behalf of the members of the Board of Visitors, past and present. I want to begin today by thanking your family members and your friends for their many sacrifices and contributions to the spirit of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. I'd also like to thank our administration, faculty, and staff for their commitment to our students. I'd like to thank the family members for trusting UMES to educate, to nurture, to challenge, and to inspire your loved one. To the graduates, today marks the beginning of a new chapter in your lives. It marks a new engagement, commitment, and responsibility to this university, the nation, and the world. Today, as you embark on a new future, know that what you have learned here at UMES will transcend the time that you spent here. What you are and will be was partially shaped at this great institution. We are proud of you, and as I know, you will always be proud to say, I am a graduate of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. May God bless each and every one of you.
Good morning. President Bell, platform guests, graduates, family, and friends. On behalf of the commissioners and citizens of the town of Princess Anne, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this beautiful campus located in the historic town of Princess Anne, the best small town in the world. We thank you for traveling here today to be a part of this graduation ceremony, to show your love and support to our graduates. We know that there are some proud loved ones here today, and we just say thank you for being here with us. To the graduates, we congratulate you on this momentous occasion. We encourage you to celebrate and enjoy this day with your family and friends. Through all the trials and tribulations that you had to overcome on today, you can say, I made it. You can say that now if you want to. All right. I would like to say thank you for the many contributions that you have made to our local community and surrounding counties while you were here at UMES. Tutoring, mentoring, if it wasn't anything else but a nice cleanup day, we thank you. I would like to encourage you today, as you prepare to leave us, please don't stop gaining knowledge and sharing it with others wherever you go. Be determined to make life better for your family, your community, and yourself. Be determined to use the knowledge that you have gained here to solve problems that affect the health and welfare of the citizens of your community. Get involved and become community leaders. Once again, congratulations, and graduates, don't forget to take your family members around our beautiful town and stimulate our economy with your dollars.
Good morning, Dr. Bell, platform guests, faculty, staff, fellow alumni, friends, family, my beautiful Golden Hawks, and our proud graduates of 2017. I'm so happy to be here today to share in this wonderful moment in your lives. Today is your day. Some of you enrolled in our grand institution filled with hope, filled with dreams and aspirations of making a positive footprint in your life and the lives of others. Today, December 15th, 2017, marks the celebratory ceremony of your achievements. Bravo. Hooray. Job well done. You officially stand on the shoulders of thousands of Hawks who successfully graduated from our alma mater. I hope you are proud of yourselves. I hope that you have told your loved ones that you appreciate their sacrifices they made to send you here and to keep you here at UMES. I hope that you share with your siblings and relatives your wonderful yet sometimes challenging times you had here at UMES. Remember to include in your conversation that even the toughest challenges that you encountered made you a formidable problem solver. And before you leave this campus, remember to greet your faculty members, the staff members of UMES, and say thank you. Thank you for encouraging me to try harder. Thank you for making me take responsibility of my own actions and helping me become a better citizen. In the words of President William P. Hyche, Emeritus, something extraordinary happened here. You are hawks. Spread your wings and soar. Explore your talents. Make a difference in this world and promise yourself that you will return to the nest time and time again. Hawk Pride? Thank you. Let's give them another hand for that lovely number. We will now have the student commentary given by Ms. Omalayo Oladimeji, Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice, class of 2017. Following the student commentary, following the student commentary, Mr. Owanami Davies, President of the Student Government Association, will introduce our speaker for today.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Dr. Bell, graduates, faculty, friends, and family. It is an honor to stand before you today, taking part in such a memorable celebration for the 2017 graduation ceremony at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. To the class of 2017, congratulations on reaching a milestone you have dreamed of from the day you started college. Graduating with a degree is an important stepping stone for many of us, as it was not easy. But we persevered, worked tirelessly, studied endlessly, and had many sleepless nights. But now we can say we've made the first mark in a long journey. I remember my freshman year, 17-year-old me coming into a new environment. No clue of what I wanted to become, what I wanted to do with my degree, and where I wanted to go. All I did know was my mother made it clear before we got out the car to unload my belongings that I was not to come home with less than a 3.0 or I wouldn't have a home to come to, jokingly. My parents are Nigerian and they set extremely high standards for me and my siblings. But what did that mean? It took me 2 years to the day to find my true meaning. I used to look at others and think, how do they have everything together? What are they doing that I'm not doing? How can I get to where they are? Always focusing on everyone else but myself. I realized I needed to change how I think, how I act, and how I would achieve my goals. Life is not easy, and we haven't even started the real part. Sometimes our focus is on others and their great accomplishments. We lose touch with ourselves and forget we all are different. It may take someone 3 years to finish an undergraduate degree and another person 5. Someone may have knowledge and greater insight on a specific subject, while another may not. It does not make these individuals any less intelligent. Never let another person's situation determine your destination. You are in control of your life. When you realize your potential, the sky is not the limit. One Bible passage that will always guide me is from Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Focus on how you can make a change today. Tomorrow is not promised to any one of us. We're living in an era where there are problems existing around race, the stigmatization and criminalization of all races, men and women. We must consider what we see in our communities that really do affect us. A lot of times we talk about problems without thinking of the solution. There are a lot of opportunities for us all to step up and create change, not only within ourselves, but others. We're living in a generation where we have the greatest weapon of all times, our cell phones. We have the internet, we have access to all forms of technology and the ability to create networks, build relationships with people across the world, form communities around common goals and ideas. The only way to make a difference and overcome the systematic oppression that exists is to build our own infrastructure. We must create our own system. Yes, life isn't fair. Sometimes we are going to have to struggle in order to succeed. But let's begin to ask ourselves, what can we do to be a part of the solution? There's a proverb my dad says to me and my siblings. You can lead a horse to the river, but can't force the horse to drink. You can give someone the opportunity to do something, but you cannot force them to act. No one can force you to make the change you'd like to see. Don't complain about what you have the power to change. Do something about it. Step up and take initiative. If you want things to change, start with yourself. You must change. We must give back. Giving back must become more proactive, almost second nature. Little moments can't change a person's life. We all have the same opportunities that others don't have elsewhere. Many of the opportunities we have, we unfortunately take for granted. If you want to make a difference, start with yourself. What can we do better? How can we empower somebody else? What skills can you develop so that we can become more valuable to our community? Don't look to be the next Neil Armstrong or Oprah Winfrey, but instead look to become the next better you. Are you going to be the next top neurosurgeon, elementary school teacher, mental health counselor, financial advisor? What are you going to become to bring about the change you would like to see? Another person's situation should not determine your destination. You are in control of your life. Strive to become leaders, not followers. Become givers, not takers. Learn to love and not to hate. We are the change we want to see. And so I ask you, what can we do differently today to make a better tomorrow? Congratulations to the class of 2017. I'm wishing you all the best on your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Omolayo. Could we give her another round of applause? And now I'll be introducing Dr. Mary Beth Gassman, the guest speaker for today's program. Dr. Mary Beth Gassman received her Bachelor of Arts degree in Political Science from St. Norbert's College in De Pere, Wisconsin, and her Master of Science degree in Higher Education and a Doctorate of Philosophy degree in Higher Education and Law from Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana. She was also awarded an honorary doctorate of Humane Letters from Paul Quinn College. Dr. Gassman is the author or editor of 24 books and has written over 200 peer-reviewed articles, scholarly essays, and book chapters. She is ranked by Education Week as one of the most influential educational scholars, having penned over 350 opinion articles for the nation's newspapers and magazines. She has also raised $22 million in grant funding to support her research and that of her students, mentees, and minority-serving institution partners. Her areas of expertise include the history of American higher education, minority-serving institutions with an emphasis on historically black colleges and universities, racism and diversity, fundraising and philanthropy, and higher education leadership. Dr. Gassman currently serves as the Judy and Howard Berkowitz Professor of Education in the Graduate School of Education at the University of Pennsylvania. She is also the founding director of the Penn Center for Minority-Serving Institutions, which works to amplify the contributions, strengthen, and support minority-serving institutions and those scholars interested in them. She holds secondary appointments in history, Africana Studies, and the School of Social Policy and Practice. She serves on the Board of Trustees of the College Board as well as Paul Quinn College, a small urban, historically black community college in Dallas, Texas. Dr. Gassman considers her proudest accomplishments to be receiving the University of Pennsylvania's Provost Award for Distinguished PhD, teaching and mentoring, where she has served as the dissertation chair for nearly 70 doctoral students since 2003. Please join me in welcoming our commencement speaker, Dr. Mary Beth Gassman.
I'm so glad they put this little stool back up here because I'm short. So, President Bell, faculty, administration, staff, families, parents, friends, and most of all students, thank you for inviting me to join you today. It's a lovely honor to join so many talented students who will work so hard, I hope, to make this nation and the world a lot better place than it is right now. And I'm counting on you, okay? Okay? So I'm going to spend a few minutes sharing some lessons that I think are important in life. But I thought first I would talk a few minutes about why I'm standing here. So I grew up in a home with a racist father. He called me and my 10 siblings racial slurs on a daily basis. I could never understand why he hated people of color so much. He had never met anyone African American, Latino, Asian American, yet he deeply, deeply hated others. Along with teachers in my small town in rural Michigan, my father told me lies about African Americans and portrayed them in the most stereotypical ways. If not for my mother, my salvation, I might be a very different person than I am today. My mother told me that my father was insecure and unhappy with his failures in his life. He was poor and blamed others for his lack of success. My father's hatred sent me on a quest. I wanted to find out two things. First, how one could hate based on no knowledge and the color of someone's skin. And second, what was the real beautiful and complex story of African American history, a history that I think is important to all of us regardless of our race. So while in graduate school, I read a book called The Education of Blacks in the South by James Anderson. And this book, which portrayed African Americans in empowering ways, changed my life, my career, and put me on a path that I've stayed on for the last 25 years. So through this book, I learned about black colleges. Prior to reading it, I didn't know what a black college was, even though I had watched A Different World. That just shows you how clueless I was. So I also learned about the value and the contributions. That was a long time ago. I learned how black colleges have empowered, inspired, shaped, and created opportunities for African Americans and so many others. I learned that black colleges are American treasures that demonstrate the strength, leadership, and determination of people. So over the course of my faculty career, I've gained immensely from my interactions with black colleges and their leaders. So on this really wonderful day, which celebrates all of your achievements, I thought I would share some things that I've learned from black colleges, as these are lessons that I live my life by every day. So, from Willa Player, and if you don't know who Willa Player is, you got to get to know her. She was young and very tiny. She stood only 5 feet tall and 98 pounds. She was president of Bennett College, and I learned how to push back against injustice from Willa Player. I learned how to stand up and fight for what I believe in. When most of the ministers and the president of North Carolina A&T backed down to the local whites during the Civil Rights era, Willa Player stood tall. She invited Martin Luther King Jr. to campus, even though she was threatened by people in the local community. She spoke out, noting that Dr. King contributed to the liberal arts ethos of her small college. When her students were jailed for protesting and desegregating movie theaters and lunch counters, she went to jail with them to make sure that they were safe. Over and over, despite being tiny in stature, she was brave of heart and soul. Willa Player taught me that my height, I'm only 5'2", doesn't matter. What matters is my voice and my bravery in the face of injustice. From Benjamin Mays, my hat's coming off, you see that? From Benjamin Mays, who's the stalwart, commanding, yet gentle leader of Morehouse College in Atlanta, I learned that mentoring is vital. Mays was the mentor of Dr. Martin Luther King. And I often wonder to myself, what if Mays had not mentored King? What if he had said no? Mentoring is a long-term commitment. It's hard, but incredibly rewarding. Sometimes you have to teach your mentee very difficult lessons. So I want to urge all of you, even though you're young, to say yes when those who are younger ask you to be their mentor. You never know if you are the one person in a young person's life who makes a difference. You have no idea how your life can serve as a model for them, how your mistakes can serve as lessons for them. So I ask you to share your good fortune with others and don't keep it for yourself. I think we do far too much of that these days. From Mary McLeod Bethune, the rugged leader of Bethune-Cookman College in Florida, I learned that if someone tells you you can't do something, don't listen. At a time when philanthropists were only giving money and establishing relationships with male black college presidents, Bethune had a dream to establish a college. Doors were shut to her in terms of resources because few would entrust their money to a black woman. So Bethune took her campaign to the streets. She went door to door to ask for funds for her college, and because of her deep belief in self, she had the confidence to ask people for funding, even when others told her that no one would give to a woman. She built the college and that she saw in her dreams. From Norman Francis, who was the long-lasting president of Xavier University of Louisiana, I learned not to run from a challenge, instead to walk right up to it and face it head on. When Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, Norm Francis was set to retire. However, he stayed on as president and helped his institution recover and ensured that it thrived. Francis knew that an institution like Xavier, our largest producer of future black doctors, needed strong leadership to make it through a catastrophe. From Janetta Cole, the amazingly charismatic and, in my opinion, breathtakingly intelligent former president of Spelman and Bennett Colleges, I learned to be worldly and diverse in thought. Cole is a cultural anthropologist and brought a sense of curiosity to her role as president. She encouraged the women at Spelman to explore the world, experience new tastes and senses, and consider new ideas. Cole knows that the best living and the most enjoyment in life comes from having an open mind to different cultures and individuals. We must travel, get out of the United States, and realize that we are not the center of the universe, but only a very small part of it. From Beverly Tatum, who was also the president at Spelman College in Atlanta, I learned to protect my reputation and my integrity. Tatum was impeccable in terms of her reputation and always presented her very best self. She made decisions based on evidence and wasn't swayed by what was popular. She instilled these ideas in the women of Spelman through word and example. From Charlie Nelms, the nearly always happy and empowering chancellor of North Carolina Central University, I learned that degrees and titles don't make us better people or smarter people. An egalitarian approach is the very best approach. What I love about Charlie, as he calls himself, is that when he was president, he introduced himself to everyone as Charlie and invited people to call him that. At first it made people real uncomfortable, but then they kind of liked it. Instead of putting up a wall or insisting on respect for his degree, he created an equal environment in which everyone was valued for what they brought to the table, regardless of degree. Charlie earns respect through his actions and leadership, not merely a piece of paper. From Walter Kimbrough, the dynamic president of Dillard University in New Orleans, I learned how to use my voice, my writing, and my power for justice, and I would add my cell phone, just like our student speaker. Kimbrough, he speaks up when he sees injustice. He writes when it's unpopular. He engages those he disagrees with to better understand their perspectives and sharpen his opinion. He takes on controversial issues, and in doing so has elevated his institution and a commitment to social justice to a new level. He's brave. And lastly, from Earl Richardson, a UMES alumnus and the former president of Morgan State University, I learned to use my intellect to outsmart racism. Richardson fought against the state of Maryland for decades in order to bring resources and justice to Morgan State, testifying over and over about the merit of black colleges. So what do we learn from these presidents? We learn to push back against injustice, to mentor those who come after you. If someone says you can't, don't believe them. Walk up to your challenges and face them. Be worldly and open-minded. Protect your reputation and integrity. Be egalitarian in your approach. Be brave and use your intellect to outsmart racism. I'll end with my own advice for all of you. Go out and live life. Stop watching others live life on television. Not that there's anything wrong with television, but just stop watching others live their lives. Every single second of life is precious, and if you aren't living the life you want to be living, I would urge you to stop right now and turn around and begin a new life. Life is really short and sweet and fragile, and I beg you not to waste it. As someone turning 50 on February 1st, I beg you not to waste it, okay? Okay, and one last thing. Remember my racist father. As proof that anyone can change and that most things in life are possible, I'll tell you how his story ended. At age 71, my father had a massive stroke, and my mother, a tiny 4'8" woman, small like Willa Player, could no longer lift him. We had to move him from his home in rural Michigan to my sister's home in Tennessee. And there's one really big difference between rural Michigan and Tennessee. You all know what that is? Black people. Okay? So my father was we placed my father in an assisted living facility, and because he was poor and was on Medicaid, he ended up with a black roommate. My father kicked and hollered and screamed. He broke windows. He yelled racial slurs at his roommate, Charlie. Frustrated and ashamed, I left my father in the nursing home without visiting him for 6 months. When I returned, guess what? My father and Charlie were the best of friends. Whoops, it's coming off. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm not sure what Charlie did to my dad, but when I got there, they were playing cards, they were playing dominoes, they were eating together, they were watching Western movies, and they were reminiscing about World War II. And they spent hours talking to one another about their younger days. And in fact, my father and Charlie died only 5 weeks apart. So I asked my father what happened, and he responded with tears streaming down his face. He said, I was really wrong about black people. So wrong. I hated my life of poverty and needed someone to blame, and so I chose African Americans. He then told me Charlie is my closest friend that I've ever had. For too many years, I limited myself with my closed mind, my anger, my prejudice, and hatred. So although I spent the majority of my life ashamed of my father, at that very moment I was proud of him. And I'm very proud of all of you as well, and I hope you will live your very, very best life. Thank you and congratulations.
Dr. Gassman, thank you for that wonderfully motivating talk. Thank you very much. Let's give her another hand.
Dr. Douglas Ruby, please come forward to take your place at the podium. You received your undergraduate degree in biology from Gettysburg College and your master's and doctoral degrees in zoology from the University of Michigan. You joined the University of Maryland Eastern Shore in 1993 and served for more than 2 decades as a faculty member, mentor, and researcher. During this time, you developed a research program, published extensively, developed a 3-semester series of biology courses, and taught a wide variety of advanced undergraduate and graduate courses. Dr. Douglas Ruby, you retired in December 2016 as a full professor in the Department of Natural Sciences after 23 years of dedicated service to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. President Bell, upon the recommendation of the faculty, I present to you Dr. Douglas Ruby for the designation of Professor Emeritus.
Dr. Douglas E. Ruby, in recognition of your many years of scholarly teaching and dedicated service, and by virtue of the authority granted to me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland, I hereby confer upon you the rank of Professor Emeritus with all of the honors, rights, and privileges thereunto appertaining. In witness whereof this certificate signed by the authorized officials of the university and sealed with the corporate seal of the university, is granted. The University of Maryland Eastern Shore Concert Choir, directed by Dr. Devonna Rowe, will now perform Non Nobis Domini.
Non nobis Domine, tuo de gloriam. 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 Non nobis Domine, non nobis Domine, Domine, non nobis Domine, non nobis Domine, Domine, non nobis Domine, tuo de gloriam. 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 Non nobis Domine, non nobis Domine, Domine, non nobis Domine, non nobis Domine, Domine, tuo da gloriam. Sei Domine 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 tuo da gloriam. Nobis Domine tuo de gloriam. Non 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 nobis Domine, non nobis Domine, non nobis Domine, non Domine, 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 tuo de gloriam.
Thank you, Concert Choir, for that beautiful number. Let's give them another hand, please. Thank you. And now, this is the moment for which you have been waiting. The awarding of degrees to our deserving students, soon to be graduates. Parents and friends, as the degrees are awarded, please remain in your seats. There is a professional photographer who will be taking pictures and will provide the proofs to the students for selection of purchase if they wish to. Please remember this is a dignified ceremony and should be treated as such, and keep the noise to a minimum so that everyone can hear their child's name as is called as they cross the stage. We thank you for your cooperation, and we will now continue with the awarding of the degrees.
Dr. Bell, it is my privilege to report that the candidates here assembled have qualified in all aspects for degrees in their courses of study by successfully completing curricula offered by the departments in the schools of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, have been recommended by the faculty, and have been approved by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments. At this time, we would like to recognize those students who will graduate with honors, cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. Their names will be called during the regular presentation of degrees, but we would like to give them special recognition. All students graduating cum laude, grade point average 3.300 to 3.499 in each school, please stand. Thank you. You may be seated. All students graduating magna cum laude, grade point average 3.500 to 3.699 in each school, please stand. Thank you. You may be seated. All students graduating summa cum laude, grade point average 3.700 to 4.0 in each school, please stand. Thank you. You may be seated.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education degrees please rise? President Bell, I'm pleased to present to you, on behalf of the graduate faculty, the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents, I do hereby confer upon you the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education degree with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Will the identified advisors or graduate faculty members please come forward at this time to prepare to hood the candidates? Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education degrees please come forward to be hooded as directed by the Marshal? Felix Buabang. Nadine Burton. Jabari Hawkins. Kristen Lassette. Kron New. David Gell. David Michael Gell. Ava Tasker Mitchell. Sean Merritt Anderson. Will the candidates for the master's degrees please rise? President Bell. President Bell, I am pleased to present to you on behalf of the graduate faculty the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the Master of Education, Master of Science, and Professional Science master's degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents, I do hereby confer upon you the master's degree with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Will each candidate for the master's degrees please come forward to receive the diploma as directed by the marshal? Oluwabimiga Nelson Ajayi. Roderick Brewington Dillard. Gary Lamar Fagan, Sr. Jeremy Evans Jones. Shakira Collins Miller. Allison Moberly. Joshua Wogu. Sylvia Asai. Marie Pagan. Megan Reed. Christopher Swartfigger. Daniel Sweeney. Patricia Thomas. David Turco. Justin Wilson.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Pharmacy degree please rise? President Bell, I am pleased to present to you on behalf of the School of Pharmacy faculty the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the Doctor of Pharmacy degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents, I do hereby confer upon you the Doctor of Pharmacy degree with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Pharmacy degree please come forward to be hooded as directed by the Marshal?
Prince Kai Amposa. Winifred Akai Abinte. Olawumi Olawaseun Olabimiji. Ozong Manfred. Collins Brobe Iduse.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Agricultural and Natural Sciences please rise? President Bell, I am pleased to present to you on behalf of the faculty of the School of Agricultural and Natural Sciences these approved and worthy candidates for the Bachelor of General Studies and the Bachelor of Science degrees. Thank you. You may be seated.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Business and Technology please rise? President Bell, I am pleased to present to you, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Business and Technology, these approved and worthy candidates for the Bachelor of General Studies and the Bachelor of Science degrees. Thank you, and you may be seated.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates for the School of Education, Social Sciences, and the Arts please rise? President Bell, I am pleased to present to you on behalf of the faculty and School of Education, Social Sciences, and the Arts these approved and worthy candidates for the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of General Studies, and Bachelor of Science degrees. Thank you. You may be seated.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Pharmacy and Health Professions please rise? President Bell, I am pleased to present to you, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Pharmacy and Health Professions, these approved and worthy candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree. Thank you, and you may be seated.
Will all candidates for the baccalaureate degree please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents, I do hereby confer upon you the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of General Studies, and Bachelor of Science degrees with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. You may be seated.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Agricultural and Natural Sciences please rise and come forward to receive the diploma as directed by the Marshal.
Abigail Anokai. Shalisa Arve Bates. Brianna Branch. Carrie Alyssa Colonna. Kayana Green. Allison Nicole Harris. Myesha S. Ingram. Brooke Lauren Lewis, magna cum laude. Olawatosin Adeyemi Maje Kondumi, magna cum laude. Joseph Marquise Marks. Davina M. Mavambu, summa cum laude. Jasmine Alexis McGill. Ikhlas M. Mohammed. Iserogene Mary Damiente Mowe, summa cum laude. Uche S. Onochukwu, summa cum laude. Evan D. Reeves. Tyrese Shanae Sellers. Jayla Lorraine Stevens. Nicholas Alexander Ross Taylor. Brittany Terry. Joshua K. Wilmer.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Business and Technology please rise and come forward to receive the diploma as directed by the Marshal.
Allison May Anderson, cum laude. Miles Banks. Siobhan Batchelor. Addis Espidane. Ketsia Mwake Bisalele. Nayana Boyd. Arthur Boyle Hebron. Nicholas Ryan Brobst, summa cum laude. Corey G. Brown. Xavier Brundage. Patrice O. Cannon. Matthew Allen Cook. Tatiana Cooper, cum laude. Sierra Elena Crutchfield. Deshaun A. Downs. Juanita Julie Ekuheta, cum laude. Jasmine Evans. Jared K. Graham. Carlton Gray II. Juwan Grafia. Deshaun O. Hall. Chasant Harcum. Shakira Giovanni Harley. Dior Rayshawn Craig Harris. Brenton Marcel Harris. Brianna Michelle Harris, summa cum laude. Mohammed El-Haj Abaldamud Hassan, cum laude. Taylor O. Hawkins. Dave F. Henderson II. Paul A. Hines. Elizabeth Marie Hopkinson. Marquise R. Johnson, summa cum laude. Daryl Andre Jones. Dwayne Jones II. Malik Londrell Jones. Tiana Jaleesa Corinne Jones, summa cum laude. Trenton Alexander Jones. Ebony Judd. Nicholas Aaron Karras. Kareem M. Keshrid. O'Shea Alexander Kupko. Deneb Lopez. Tawadros Mekbib Mamo. Rava C. Mason. Ike Onyeweku. Edward Frederick Peterson, summa cum laude. Keshav Podell. Shane J. Randall. Christopher D. Robertson. Bria Lene Smith. Kaleo Miles Smith, magna cum laude. Tyree DeMarcus Smith. Derek Lamont Sproul. Deshaun Markey Steele. Vanessa Sierra Stewart. Christy Chantel Thomas. Evelyn M. Thomas, cum laude. Monera Simone Tillman. Darius D. Tillman. Treshawn Monique Todd. Ebony Washington. Jordan Wesley. Sean Cannell Whalen, magna cum laude. Leon Frank Young. And Timothy A. Yu.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates for the School of Education, Social Sciences, and the Arts please rise and come forward to receive the diploma as directed by the Marshal?
Shauna Nicole Ashby. Raven Ashley Battle. Abigail Yene Yene. Sabria Danielle Bell. Alfreda Christina Bennett. Jakayla R. Bishop. Cody Joseph Bland. Brittany J. Brown. Lawrence Brown Sr. Danisha M. Coleman. Latrell Dominique Crawford. Dallas Jacoby Collada. Crystal Dupree, magna cum laude. Damani Nicholas Fisher. Enijah Fogel. Imani Tajay Green. Christina Jernell Hackley. Lucas Martin Hill. Joshua Keith Hill. Nicholas Gavin Holliday, cum laude.
Champa. Terrence Alden Anderson II. Ruth O. Babayemi. Talani Nicole Bizel. Trisha Blanco, summa cum laude. Princess Makeda Bolton, cum laude. Trishawn Markel Boston. Aljaquise Branham. Janae L. Briscoe. Shakina Brown. Miana Joel Calhoun. Princeton Jerome Harmon Copes. Alexis Aaliyah Daly. Jaleel Malik Davenport, magna cum laude. Erica L. Graham. Marisha LaLon Gray. Amber Imani Hammond. Justin Alexander James. Jawan Johnson. Solomon Kipsaram. Brandon Matthew Lyons. Deja Alexis Moore. Musakanya Ngona. Nicholas Julius Norbury. Mascot Siobua. Gary Press. Tyranny Peak. Anthony L. Rhodes. Tyler A. Savoy. Tyree C. Sellers, magna cum laude. Jamara Rakia Thompson. Dakota Glendor Turnell. Ivana Delisa Washington. Jessica Nicole Whaley, summa cum laude. Stephen Andre Wilkins.
Will all the graduates please stand? Now, undergraduates, graduates, please stand. Graduates, you have reached a milestone, an important milestone in your lives. Today marks the beginning rather than the end of your search for truth. As you venture out into the world, remember to give back to your families, give back to your community, and yes, give back to your alma mater, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. Graduates, you may now turn your tassel from right to left. Congratulations, you may be seated. We will now have the alumni oath administered by Mrs. Deborah Powell-Heyman, the president of the UMES National Alumni Association. Please give her your attention.
Hello again. May I have any officers of the UMES National Alumni Association Executive Board stand? Thank you. Alumni, would you please stand? Graduates, take a good look. Spring 2018, join us on this side in supporting the graduates of 2018. Thank you. You may sit. Will all the graduates please rise? And repeat the alumni pledge after me. I state your name, an alumnus of the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, do hereby pledge allegiance to the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore National Alumni Association. Let me hear that again. Do hereby pledge allegiance to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore National Alumni Association. And to the great and honored institution which it represents. I promise to remain loyal, faithful, and steadfast in my support of its programs, to uplift its principles, maintain its traditions. Let me hear it louder. Maintain its traditions. There you go. And defend its honor. I further promise always to stand ready to contribute my time, efforts, financial assistance, and service toward the advancement of the welfare of the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, my beloved alma mater, so help me God. Thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you, Mrs. Powell-Heyman, for conducting the UMES Alumni Pledge. I wish to thank the University of Maryland Eastern Shore Commencement Steering Committee and all those supporting units that helped to plan and carry out this event. I also want to thank our wonderful student musicians and vocalists who were led by Dr. Devonna Rowe, Mr. Fernandez Bateson, Dr. Brian Dean, and Mr. Patrick McHenry, as well as Dr. Lumbuza Koza, the Flag of Nations marshals, and the flag bearers. Thank you also to the Somerset County Sheriff's Department, Reverend Jamar Jackson, Ms. Pamela D'Ochio, and Dr. Adam Redmond, our sign language interpreters, our ushers, Dr. Long and Dr. Smith, our readers. And of course, we want to thank again our speaker, Dr. Gassman. Before we go, I want to take time to acknowledge our faculty and staff for all the work that they do. Graduates, would you please acknowledge our faculty and staff? Thank you. And we all know that without the love and support of family and friends, we could not have made it. So would you graduates please acknowledge your family and friends? Thank you. Again, I want to congratulate all of the graduates for this great accomplishment, and I know that you will represent the university well. Finally, as we close the ceremony, I ask that our guests remain seated until the entire recessional, including the graduates, have left the arena. We will now be led in the singing of the alma mater by our UMES concert choir, followed by the benediction by Reverend Jackson. Thank you all for your attendance and support at today's ceremony. Please stand.
Catch it.
Let us prepare for the benediction. Now, Lord, as we leave this place, we never leave your presence. We ask that you will bless these graduates. God bless them in the city and in the field. Increase their territory. Let them represent themselves well. Let them represent the UMES well. Let them represent their families well. But most of all, let them represent you well. And this is our prayer. In your name we pray. Amen.